navigating the mall. Just popped into a toy store that I go to occasionally. Ultraman. Lady's like, I haven't seen you in a long time. I was worried about you. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's nice when people worry about me. Makes you feel good. I'm worried about me too. For a whole host of different reasons though. Not too bad navigating the mall today. It's all about keeping enough space between you and the NPCs. And trust me, it's all NPCs. I mean, the current number we're working with, that we've been working with in schizo circles, is 95% of the people around you at any time are controlled by the OS. Whatever the S happens to be. The operating system. Are we going into Target? No, we're not going to go to Target. I just bought something. I'm gonna walk home. I'll walk on home. Yeah, when I talk about that, like how to avoid people and like, nonsense tornadoes and stuff, it must sound insane to NPCs it would sound insane. It's like, well, what's this guy talking about? He's fucking schizophrenic motherfucker. It's like, well, yes, I am, but also, what I'm saying is completely true. There's like, especially here in Hawaii, it's very, very pronounced here in Hawaii, where there's a good amount of people that are just nonsense tornadoes. Like a little cartoon, cartoon tornado with like tendrils reaching out from it, wanting to suck you in. You know, like walking over here, you have to avoid them. Like I try not to walk too close to people as to not activate them, but I got real close to this one guy who's sitting down, and I knew, don't go across the, but I didn't, I get over to him, he stands up, and he's like, oh, fuck. He starts looking across the street. Now what he wants me to do is go, what? And then I'm sucked into his fucking, nonsense tornado. But not me. I'm way too experienced with this shit. I just keep looking straight and keep going and listen to him go, oh, what? They try to get my attention to look at something across the street. There's nothing across the street. He's just trying to get me into lock you in. There's another one too. Like there's another thing that happens where I call it the, wow, I'm glad you're here. Like I'll be walking, like for instance, in my neighborhood, and someone will be working on like a bike. Some meth head will be working on a bike, and you walk by and they're like, oh, hand me the forceps or the screwdriver forceps. And like, you don't want to be a dick, right? So you're like, oh yeah, here you go, man. But then you're in. Then he's got you. Then you're in the nonsense tornado. So what you got to do is just like put that ignore switch on. Then I have to fucking make my wish. Fuck you. It's the only superstitious thing I still do. Oh, do I not have change? I might not have change. Let me see here. No, I don't have change. Oh well, I'll get it next time. Yeah, they're just trying to rope you in. And once you're in, it's hard to get out. From anybody. Once you acknowledge they're there, and they pull you into, because no one has anything going on. Nothing going on. And there's a lot of boredom, because there's, no brain activity. Stupidity breeds boredom. There's fucking boredom everywhere around here. Once they suck you in, now you're with them. Now we're hanging. Well, where are you going? What do you mean you're leaving? And then that's the problem too. At that point, where are you going? You just got here. What? And then they get mad. And then at that point, you could have conflict, which is fine, because they're looking for any kind of connection they can get with you. And if it's conflict, it's conflict. That's fine with them. They don't care. They just want to have some kind of interaction with you. It's fucked up. And again, this all sounds insane, but walk a mile in my fucking sandals and you'll see. There's nothing insane about it. Usually I'll let that car go with those women who are going and stuff. That's another thing you got to stop doing, is stop being polite. I was raised by people who pounded into my head to hold doors and to let people walk in front of you and all this stuff. That stuff has not served me well living here. People don't look at stuff like that as, oh, that was nice of them. They look at stuff like that like, what is this fucking idiot doing? That talks about, you know, having to cross like a footbridge or something. And there'll be a couple coming, just for instance. And it's either like, I go on the footbridge or they go on the footbridge. There's not room for both of us. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll let them go. So then I'll stand off to the side, wait for them to go. And instead of going, they'll stop and like look at me like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I have to have a fucking meltdown. I'm fucking waiting for you. I only stood over here so you could walk by. And now I'm the fucking madman. That's how this all works, you know. It's to make you publicly rage and look like a retard. That's what it's all about. People talk about spiritual warfare and like, you know, they always think it's something big, like, you know, possession or something. It's not. It's little shit like that. Like, they want you to think you're fucking insane. Like, that's the whole point of the whole thing. And if that's just losing your keys or whatever minor thing, it's not the big things that'll make a man melt down. It's the little things. You know, it's the little things. Like why out of all days, you know, when I've done this 100,000 times, the 100,001 is not functioning the same way it did before. Here's where the guy was that wanted me to, so let me cross the street in case he's still over here. Because some people, they just sit there all day and just wait. Because like if you're an NPC, right, there's no internal monologue going on. There's no stimulation from inside. So your whole world is dependent on outside stimulation, other people. You know, you're waiting to react. There is no interaction. You have to wait for other people to come along and react to them. And that's also why when you try to leave, I get so upset. Because like, fuck, now I have to wait for someone else. And again, I know this sounds insane, but it's fucking true. It is insane, but it is true as well. You know, I've been doing this kind of shit my whole life. But in Hawaii, it's really pronounced. And I think maybe it's because it's warmer here, like other cities I've lived in. Yeah, forever, no matter how long or how short I lived in them. Especially on the East Coast of the U.S. Everybody's going somewhere. Everybody's busy. Everybody's kind of walking somewhere. Here, there's a lot of hanging around. You know, no one's really going anywhere. And nowhere fast anyway. And the people that are going somewhere are just tourists. So they're going to get lunch or something. So you run into a lot of situations where it's just, you know, people hanging out. And yeah, people get really testy when you don't want to hang out. They're like, well, where are you going and such a, why do you have to run away? It's like, well, I have thoughts in my head. I can think of things in my brain. I don't need to wait for outside stimulation for me to.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? God loves us. That guy's awesome. So, like, you know, I always see those things and I try to avoid them. Like, blocks out, I'll be looking at them. And now there's other things I avoid too, just by sight. I got my security system built in. It's been acting fucking weird lately, though. Last couple of times it worked, but it worked way late. Luckily, my eyeballs are still good, so I can see when trouble's coming. So, Craig's coming by a little later. We're gonna record some, so I should just stop fucking mentioning it. Just fucking when you record it, put it up. Who cares? What the fuck are you talking about? Like fucking Bon Jovi showing up or something. Bon Jovi's gonna be here. He's gonna be playing, his entire 78 500 album. Beginning with Only Lonely. Only good album. That second Bon Jovi album, the only good one. That's funny because Craig knows the producer of his albums. What's his name there? a guy from Jersey. Oh, God, help me. Thechadti. He's worked with a lot of people. Alice Cooper and Bon Jovi and a lot of New Jersey people. Craig's from New Jersey. Anyway, who gives a shit? Get the footage and fucking put it up. And we're gonna do that. But I'm not gonna smoke this out here. I don't need to smoke this. I'm trying to cut down on smoking. I absolutely need it for out here though. I did a naughty thing earlier. I was walking over by Target, and you have to stop at the lights, right? So stop at the lights. I take my cigarette and I'm smoking it, but I put it like up here, like near my arm, so you really couldn't see it. And because of that, I got monged. Like everybody got real crowded around me. I'm smelling cologne, I'm smelling sweat, I'm smelling what this lady had for lunch. And then I just nonchalantly pull it from my shoulder and take a puff of it. And oh my God, everybody like runs in different directions because they're afraid of it. You know, they see it and they're like scared of the fucking cigarette. It's fucking hilarious. So that's why a lot of times I always have it going when I'm walking. That way, you know, people give me a little bit of space, because otherwise they won't. They don't. If you're a fucking robot, you don't have the kind of sensitivity that a normal human being does. So you'll just stand on each other's heads. They group up in these sweaty groups of cattle. I mean, you see them walking down fucking Kohio. There's a lot of room to walk, but everybody groups up into these fucking herds. And there's like the heat line coming off the top of it from my sweat. It's like, what are you all doing? That's what happens when you have no soul. I guess there's some kind of comfort in like ganging up with all the other guys. The other soloists. That's just how it is. It's weird. But I'm going in, take a shower, get some shit going. Until next time, thanks for dropping in. It's nice to be checked on, as I said earlier. Until next time, don't blame a teacher, blame the school. Did that episode suck? I kind of feel like it did. I just finished editing it and I was like, there's nothing here about me complaining about fucking NPCs. I guess that's the thing though. I mean, you gotta stay on top of these NPC behaviors. I guess it's somewhat important. And it is spiritual warfare involved. Everything's spiritual warfare involved, because it's just happening all the time, constantly. Hey man, how you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Not bad. I mean, there's always something going on, you know, as far as whether you can see it or not, you know, it's happening all around you. And people, and the way you interact with them, and, I mean, it's certainly a thing. Hey, little doggy. Hey, yo, buddy. He's that guy's dog that just, it's funny because he drove by, like, on the bike, and, like, 2 minutes later, that guy comes running up. That dog's awesome. Yeah, so, I mean, I try to always have something to base it around. I don't want to feel like I'm just fucking walking around bitching about shit and then fucking throwing it on YouTube. I don't want to do that. Although, I mean, you could probably point to a lot of different occasions where I have done exactly that. But, yeah, I got some real good stuff coming up this week. Some footage with Craig that we did. I know I keep fucking teasing it, but it's significant because what it does is it explains how I got to the point I got to in the origin of my, you know, returning to God in faith and becoming interested in spiritual warfare, or being thrust into it without even understanding what it is at first. You know, we were just dropped into it. And I think about that too, like you know, I was thinking about the angel thing the other day, like having those angel visitations I had. It's Subtle Science, I did videos about it, and I was like, I think about my aunt, who was really spiritual and very, she was a big God lady. she'd go to church like every day down there to do something with the rectory. She's very involved in the church. This is an aunt that I lived next door to when I lived in Lawrence. And she's been a believer and a devout her whole life. And I was a filthy atheist for most of my adult life, you know? So to me, it's like, why did I get these visitations? Like, it was like, she would have loved to have this happen to her. Like, why someone who is just returning to the flock, why do I have these things happen to me, you know? And then, like, thinking about it a little bit more, she didn't need it. She didn't need to have that kind of intervention. You know, I guess I did. And it's, you know, it helped a lot. It helped shape my perspective about this whole thing. And it made me without a doubt understand what I'm involved in more so than I was before, I guess. I don't know exactly how to put it, but I guess I needed it, you know. I'm glad it happened. Glad all this happened, you know. Sometimes shit happens and you're like, what the fuck, why is this going on? And a lot of times it turns out to be a good thing, or just what you needed, you know. Alright, I'm gonna head into the store and buy my overpriced coffee. Thanks for popping in. See you guys soon.